Hello and welcome. If you're watching this video, it is because you need to know how to put together the demo server. This demo server is based on an Intel NUC. You will notice that the part number ends with the letter H. This stands for the hard drive chassis. You will need, obviously, the NUC, an SSD, which is a SATA drive, RAM, and this 8 gigabyte 1.35 volt memory units. They're SODIMMs, and a 1 terabyte hard drive. We're using a Western Digital Red drive, which is designed for NAS. Reason for that is it should give us much longer longevity. A Phillips screwdriver is really all you need. I have two for these smaller screws. I find it easier to have a small screwdriver handy. When you open the box, you're going to hear the chime. Alright, inside the box is your NUC. A plastic baggie with a bunch of screws. We're actually only going to need the silver screws out of this, so you can literally just pull those out. And a power supply. It's got the Mickey Mouse style power supply. You'll need a specific cord for this. For the US users, this should come with your package. For the international users, you will probably need to order this separately. So we're going to take this box and stick it out of the way. We will remove the silver screws out of the baggie. There should be a total of 4 screws. Everything else you can put back in the bag. Before I forget, there's a protective film on the NUC. If you want to keep it shiny, don't take that off. The case is really scratch sensitive. So to take this apart, flip it upside down, you're going to see 4 screws. Take your large screwdriver and unscrew all 4. Set that aside. This is the compartment where the hard drive's maintained or held. Pull that up. Do not pull too hard because you have cables that are attaching in. Alright, so just lift it and separate it to one side. What you're going to notice here is your slots for your RAM. So these are SODIMMs, and right on the label you'll see it says 1.3 volts. Over here are your PCI connections. There's 2. A lower one and an upper one. The lower one is for a Wi-Fi card, which you can order separately. The upper one is for the SATA drive that we're going to use. I suggest starting by installing the RAM and then the SATA drive. This is pretty straightforward. Always install the bottom unit first. RAM's installed. Next is the SATA drive. Again, if you had a wireless card, you would install that first. In this case, we don't, so we're just going to put the SATA drive in and push it down. You'll notice it doesn't lock. That's because it has a little screw that you got to put in. Little tiny screw. Little tiny screw. That's why I have one of these little tiny screwdrivers. If you've lined up your SATA drive correctly, you can hold it down with one finger and the hole for the screw should line right up. This should not be forced in any way. It should just literally go right in. That's it. Screws in place. So your RAM and your SSD are now installed. Now for your hard drive. Okay. Being careful, you're going to flip that enclosure over. The SATA drive installs from the side where it says NUC 2. And literally just slides right in. Push it till you get lock against the SATA clip. Next, 2 more screws to secure the hard drive. Be careful not to pinch the cables as you finish sliding this in place. Should be able to push it down pretty evenly, and the drive should lay pretty flat against the case. So if you notice, there's nothing protruding outside of that. Next, we put the plate back on top. Tighten those screws right back down. Be careful not to over tighten in case you need to come back in here and replace hard drives or anything like that. And just like that, your NUC is built and ready for use. Hope that was useful. We will see you next time.